really matters. Thank you. Good morning. I am Gustavo Carriquiry, Operations Manager of Artich. And this is a huge responsibility and a pleasure for me to open this event with the first technical conference. The first presentation always has an additional problem because it's the first. The advantage is that it may develop well or wrong. If it develops well, fine, because we start winning. But if it goes wrong, then we'll have 9 minutes, 3 days, and 150 activities to recover ourselves. Or whatever is the result, I welcome you to this event. Before start talking, I would like to take out my cell phone and to turn on that light over there. And at the end of the presentation, I'll tell you why. Now, on a more serious tone, let's have this control. I can turn it on or off as I wish. Well, I have to talk to you now about the GeneXus Evolution 2, on which we have been working last year. This version, we have worked on 2 pillars, web applications and smart devices applications. Yesterday we released beta 4 of this version. We are also in the process of beta testing, and will be more announcements throughout this event. We have been developing this version for 1 year, and I'll start talking about the pillars, the foundations of this version. In the web applications, we improve the performance of web applications. We reduce the generated HTML, and we obtain optimized pages, smaller pages, and we obtain in our test up to a 25% of reduction in the size of such pages. There are 2 advantages, because we consume a less bandwidth and is faster. The second thing we did as to performance in web applications is optimizing on the side of the server side. We had to use SQL sentences, and the traffic of information between the application server and the database server has been minimized. We also move forward in the interface of generated applications, and what we did is that optionally we can generate HTML pages or SS3 pages, and therefore the aesthetics of the page and the dialogue with the user is far better. We can have what we call semantic dominion. We can have in the screen a phone, for instance, and it appears with the format of a phone, and you can make your call right from there. If there is a location, the map appears right on the screen without the need for an additional programming. Another of the 4 parts included in web applications development is that we have worked a lot on the cloud. Particularly, we have a series of services on the cloud, GX Server, and the hosting of cloud applications, and we based our work on 2 lines. First of all, on Windows Azure, what we did was to create a tool integrated with GeneXus in order to create the packages for the deployment of GeneXus applications to Windows Azure and install it in the cloud. Something else that we did was what we call Click to Cloud, which is based on Amazon services. That is from GeneXus itself with a property. You can, from the IDE, from of GeneXus, you can create an application in the website. So any GeneXus tool can make an application. You don't require a web server or a local database. It's a server of its own. And one further advantage is, as we have formalized that API, that package to make the deployment of the cloud, anyone could install in the cloud or in their own servers to make the deployment or whatever use they intend. And the fourth element that we have improved in this evolution too is security. We integrate the GeneXus Access Management that allow us to manage application and automation within the application. This assures that each developer of GeneXus should not implement the security module, that is authorization, for instance, and authentication, which means that only authorized people could execute some actions. GeneXus is just enabling a property. This property has security already enabled. The second part was smart devices. Nicolas said in the last event that we were undergoing a revolution of tablets, of smart devices. Last year we talked about a revolution, but now we are talking about an actual reality, and we shouldn't perhaps comment too much about the progress of the development of smart devices and their application. I just included a few figures. That is the sale of tablets in the last quarter of 2011, 9 million iPad, that is everything that was manufactured, and 4 million of Android tablets. And in the US market, 42% of cell phones are smart devices at present. This shows to some extent the size of this wave. The first reaction to this wave will be, well, it's more or less the same as before. I can perform web applications because these devices have their own browsers, Safari or any other. So actually it's more than before. In these three devices, I'm executing the same application, a web application in a browser. You can do that with Evolution 1, Evolution 2. The developed people extend the workplace to generate applications to be run on these devices. Whoever has a cell phone with a browser can use these applications. If we go deeper in this issue, this new wave includes two types of applications: the line of business applications and consumer applications. The line of business applications are similar to those that we carry out today, and one part of the REP, maybe a manager consulting a dashboard or someone authorizing a payment. So it's a part of a process, a more complex process. Those are essentially the line of business applications. Somebody who is delivering a package in a customer's house. Those are the applications of the line of business. But the most interesting part of the smart devices are the other applications, the consumer applications. The consumer applications are those that the owner of the smart device uses. For instance, to follow up a sport routine, to detect where the best surfing waves are. That is personal applications. There I draw a company and a person, because line of business is focused on the company, while the consumer applications are focused on the individual. And our challenge is that both should coincide somewhere. A few years ago, we developed some management applications similar to the line of business, but consumer applications are immune to. In some way, we have to consolidate both, having a robust line of business applications, but with the characteristics of the consumer applications to be run on such devices, and that they will be what the final consumer expects, because we cannot monitor the final users at present. Then I'm going to go deeper in these consumer applications and precisely what the user expects from, what type of applications the consumer expects from these devices and from the applications we developed. The first they expect is to decide what type of device they wish to use. In some cases, there I put a cell phone, an iPod, a BlackBerry, and a tablet. He wants to be the owner to decide what he wishes to use. So, whatever application we develop can be run on these devices. To select a specific application for an iPod, I may be resigning to a BlackBerry or to other device. So the final consumer wishes to decide what type of device he will use. At the level of the corporate level, perhaps the employees of a corporation can use a pre-established device. So I could define the device as well as I decide the type of PC or whatever. But at the level of the clients of the corporation, this cannot be predefined. We have been working with a client in Chile, who the major freeways in Chile. There are hundreds of thousands of clients. You cannot develop one single application. Perhaps you can do it at the corporate level, but not at the individual consumer. At the level of a warehouse, if I am not a corporate but a final consumer, obviously my market have the same problem. So to some extent, I as a superhouse, in developing a logistic system, I cannot decide the type of platform that my consumers, my clients of my logistic solutions will use. Also, it's important to know how applications perform and what the users expect from their performance. This is an screen on an iPhone. This is the application for phone calls. There you can see that there is a certain look and feel, a certain design. On the side is the application that you can download from GeneXus.com, and the application of the smart devices for this particular event. The agenda, the speakers, the hotels, restaurants, and I recommend you to download it. As you can see, both applications, beyond this different design, it has the colors of this event and some further characteristics that were established by the design people.
As a bar for performing some activities, and here we have a menu. This is quite simple, but actually the iPhone user, when he takes a look at the list of the sessions for the event, he will want to see it this way and not another way. So anything that we add might be complicating that interface. Likewise, that application looks like this on the iPhone, but also on Android and BlackBerry.